Welcome one and all. My name is Hunter, and today's topic is trying new things out and how it can be dangerous if you do it too much. So, if you know me, you know that the reason that this channel exists in the first place is because I tried new things out. So why should I call it dangerous or bad if it's working out for me so far? And by working out, I don't mean that I'm becoming a YouTuber who can sustain his life by doing this. No, as I said, I'm doing this more of a hobby. It just helps my mental state. Let's say that. So, see, if you are in the stage of life where you're growing up and your parents start giving you a lot of advice about the future, or you already passed that point, you've heard a lot of this phrase, try new things out. This totally makes sense, and the phrase itself I support in terms of the more you try, even if you don't find yourself in what you tried, you will gain some experience or some idea of what the other things are, and that might help you out in the future when you stumble upon a situation which might be job related, might be not, but something that requires you thinking outside of the box. And this past knowledge, past experience with all these different things might help you figure something out much better in an efficient way. So the thing is, in my opinion, what is the best time to try new things out is during high school, because this is the more of the time where you get somewhat of a freedom from your parents and you are before the university stage, which means that you can still make a decision regarding your future and don't have the trouble of the fact that you're now in a university studying something and you kind of have to stick to that, otherwise you have to drop out or like change your major, which is very complicated sometimes. So, but on the other hand, it's not the best place where you can try things out. See, for you to be able to try something, reading about it is not enough. Most likely, you have to do it. Some experience, like hands-on experience, is required. And in that aspect, high school lacks a lot of freedom. When you come to university, especially if you're even far from home, you just have the absolute freedom of doing whatever you want. And this brings, in turn, a lot of opportunities for you to try all these different things and figure if you're happy with them or not, if you like them or not, and you'll learn a lot of things. For instance, this whole YouTube channel that I have was a way for me to escape the depression, let's say, that I have. I still don't know how to phrase that mental state of mine, but like I wouldn't have had the chance to do so beforehand because I am extremely shy, to be honest. And to do all this in front of my parents or while they're in the house wouldn't have worked out. The only reason I started this in the first place was because I was alone. There was no one watching me. It was just me and the camera, and I was like super stiff in the first videos, if you see that. But like now I feel confident with each video that I make. It just helps me out. But back on track, I'm just getting too distracted when I start talking about all this. Anyways, see, trying things out is positive. Then you might say, hey, then why should it be a bad thing? See, the whole point is, once you start something new, once you try something, that can even be a game, forget like jobs or things that might tire you, even a new video game. You'll try it, you'll play the game, let's go from the game example. And if the game, for instance, is something that you haven't played, let's say MMORPG. For instance, I don't like MMORPGs. I don't want to do the grinding, don't want to do all the calculation, let's say. And it's just not my type of game in general. And I will just look at the game, and in the first hour, let's say, I'll get an expression in regards of whether do I like it, like, or no, and I'll just drop it. And same goes for the things when you try. For instance, you can try playing on a guitar, and you'll see that you don't like the guitar, you don't like the sound of it, or your fingers are too short, whatnot. and you'll just give up on that because it's not your thing. See, it kind of makes logic. You don't want to learn this musical instrument, it doesn't just, you don't feel like it's your thing. Okay, you give up. But when you start doing this too much, when you try all these things constantly, you can get into a loop where the moment something gets hard for you, you just quit. Now that is the problem here. See, because there is nothing that will come easy. There will be, like most of the things will have an entry level, which is simple, and then you go a little bit up, and this is the part where you start like having a rough time. You need to dedicate more time, you need to spend some like effort time on that thing. And when this part hits, you can start, like after you've tried so many things and given up on them because you didn't like them or they were too hard for you, you can start confusing this threshold with, hey, this is not my thing, I don't understand it. For instance, this YouTube channel initially for me was not the easiest of experiences. I had many troubles regarding the recording, regarding the editing, regarding all the software that I have for like uploading this, placing the camera. Had a hard time thinking of what to talk about or how to talk. Well, I was super stiff, as I said before. But when this hit, when I started thinking, hey, I need to change something. See, I could have given up on that and said, okay, this is not my thing. I don't like doing it anymore. But a matter of fact, I pushed through it. I learned some things. I found a tripod. I managed like the proper setting in my room and stuff. And it's much better now. I'm enjoying it twice or even more than before. So this should be a thing for you too. Once things gets hard, you should think of not, hey, this is getting hard for me, maybe I should give up. Instead of just becoming this person who gives up on things, you should think, do I have the time to dedicate to this work? And don't get too much into it. You see, if something is not your cup of tea, it doesn't have to be. But the distinction is important. Just keep this in mind. When you're trying new things out, ask yourself once you reach a certain point where it's getting hard or tough, ask yourself this, well, if I manage to do this, would I still enjoy? If I manage to climb this ladder to the next point, then will it be better for me? Will I feel better? Or if I learn this, will I be more passionate about it? If I manage to get over this hardship, will it satisfy me or will it just tire me down? And just try working on it if you have the time. And look, while you're working on it, are you enjoying it? Once the work is done, are you proud of yourself, let's say? If not, then this is most likely not the thing that you have to do. And basically, don't forget to try things out. That's an important thing. We might not have much time in terms of once you're, as I said, the best time for it is high school because you have a lot of free time. But once you hit university and above, you start having these time issues where you either don't get sleep because you're trying to finish something, or like you're getting sleep and there is no time for anything else. So just my advice, don't be afraid to try things out. But when you do, be mindful. After you tried, like, let's say 3-4 things, take a look back and say, hey, I gave up on these for this reason. But were those reasons valid, or am I just starting to become lazy? That is very important and crucial. And most importantly, do what you like. You'll always find some time. Trust me in that. If I can find enough time to record 2 or 3 videos or edit my videos, draw thumbnails and stuff, and alongside of that study, play some games with my friends, talk on the phone to my parents, everybody can find time. Literally, like, it's not hard. Dedicating 1 hour of your day is not hard to something. Just keep it up. So I hope you enjoyed this one and it was somewhat helpful to you, and I wish you all a wonderful day. I hope to see you in my future videos. Goodbye.